tries to stop.
All right, I'm done waiting around. All right, and I'm done being a little bitch on these streams. Understand, this is Degen Fantasy, and we bring the heat and the hot fucking picks. And y'all need to understand where we're at this week because it's the AFC and NFC conference fucking finals. And I'm about to come out here with a fucking bow and fucking bullseye all these fucking picks we got. You understand? Double Daniel down. Understand?
Double Daniel down. Yeah, I understand. I'm ready. Let's get into it.
I'm postponing a trip to the ER for this stream, so that means we're here to make some fucking money. Should I wait, or do y'all want to see the picks? Should I? Oh, the picks? Okay. Here's the picks for the week. Bang. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I see my face. There it is.
Oh, look at us.
Oh, we're so cute.
Handsome as ever.
And I think we were going to take off some of these picks and then ended up just rolling with it. So
yeah, I mean, we can talk through what we like and what we don't like, of course.
So let's talk through what we like and what we don't like. Dan, start us off with the Chiefs and the Ravens real quick before we get into these picks. Actually, we're just gonna break down who the fuck's gonna win these fucking games.
All right,
so Dan, who do you think's gonna win? God,
I don't know why you gotta.
Because I set it up for the TikToks. Then you go, it's okay. God.
No, set it up again. Give it to me again. Give it to me fresh.
Double down, Dan. Who do you think is going to win in the AFC and NFC conference finals?
All right. Here's what I got in the AFC. I got the Baltimore Ravens winning. I got the San Francisco 49ers winning in the NFC.
Wow, what a fucking hot take. I got the Lions and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I'm just kidding. No, I'm gonna go San Fran and I'm gonna go Baltimore as well. But fuck, honestly, if there's one team that's my favorite team in this playoffs, you know exactly who it is. Dan, who's my favorite team in the playoffs?
Detroit Lions.
Yes, sir. We've bet on them all year. I think Jahmyr
really
Gibbs is becoming one of my favorite players to watch. And I think they're going to come in and probably get smoked. But, I'm hoping that they're going to win. So let's go back to our picks.
Honestly, the most vulnerable one seed is probably San Francisco right now after last week. So without they got Debo. A shot. They really do. The only thing that I don't think so. I think he might be out.
Yeah, that's going to be tough for them because when you saw Deebo Samuel leave the game last week, you saw how it took them a couple drives to really figure out what the fuck they're going to do because he does so much for them in the running game. He's a big, strong body, and it's just an odd dynamic. And I saw it in Ayuk too. Ayuk didn't really look like he was. I feel like Ayuk, when he is without Deebo and he knows about it in advance, plays well. I don't know, off the cuff. I didn't think he was ready. So I think we'll see a different Ayuk if Debo's not playing this week, and they'll have a scheme for it too. And that means a lot of Christian McCaffrey. So so some of these picks I took before I was able to speak to Dan today because we were, grinding and shit. And I told him, hey, I got some picks up here. You tell me if you like them or not. I got Christian McCaffrey over 89.5 rushing yards.
Okay. Like this one, hard not to fucking put him on the card. He's usually going to be above that number anyways. So, yeah, that one's fine. I like that one a lot.
And then with that being said, obviously, there's the free prize picks. If you can find it, go get it. The 0.5 rushing yards.
I think you got 90 hours to fucking lock that one in. Yeah. Lock that one in. Get it locked on something. Pair it with all of these. Do whatever you can. Get that all over your dance card today.
I have a question for you. So when Prize Picks gives you that free line of over 0.5 for a rushing total, does that actually, how much does that juice your parlay? How much does that increase?
It gives you the same. It gives you the same number like a normal one would. They just give it to you for free basically, but you still got to hit. I mean, it's Prize Picks. You still got to hit a parlay to hit it.
But does it change your odds at all?
Yeah,
Not the
yeah.
odds of hitting, but the payout odds.
Yeah, it gives you like the same, like you bet 20 to win 50. It's the same shit.
So what say? Okay, I'll just spare the math of it. I was just curious to see if that would change if your payout, if it's even worth it, or if it's just for fun. Like, look, here's a free little pick. That's
no. You definitely, it does change. It makes your odds better. Yeah, absolutely. Pair it with everything. I think you can only put up to like $50 on it though. So either take it once or take it twice or whatever the fuck. But I have it paired up with like 3 other bets that won right now. So,
and one that I think is a lock is the Justin Tucker over 1.5 field goals made. 2 field goals is going to be a tighter bit game.
So I don't know, when we break down this game, we'll talk about it. But yeah, Justin Tucker usually good for 2 field goals. I don't know how much I like that one for right now, so I'm probably iffy on that one.
That's okay. I'm thinking that the early first drives is them like trying to see and measure themselves up, and they'll each probably get a field goal early, and then it's just going to play into the rest of the game if he gets one more. What do you think of Rashee Rice? Because we kind of looked over him the past 2 weeks, and I have his over for this one. What do you think?
Kind of a down. I don't know. I feel like if they're going to move the ball, they're going to need him to kind of be involved. So I don't mind the play. I'm real low on the Chiefs this week, and we'll talk about it again when we get into the breakdown of the game. But I don't know. I probably wouldn't put that on my card at all.
Yeah, okay. And then talking Chiefs, we got Pacheco and Mahomes with the unders. What do you think?
Okay, so my main course of thought for these picks is the Ravens defense is by far okay, so when you come from playing Buffalo and you come from playing Miami, right? You're playing 2 defenses that have like over 15, 16 guys on IR, like they're all fucking banged up and shit. So I think when you really look at the Chiefs, I think you have to look at the competition that they've played. They barely escaped Buffalo. They got really lucky to escape Buffalo, and Buffalo was trotting out, 4th string fucking. They signed AJ Klein, and he was on his couch up until 2 weeks ago. Okay, so Buffalo's defense is not like the defense that they should have been playing. So now we're coming to Baltimore, right? Baltimore, if I'm correct, doesn't have any big injuries right now on defense. Maybe they have one, if any. They're intact. They're probably playing their best ball right now. And I don't think that you can I don't think that you should put any Chiefs on your dance card. I know it's the sexy pick right now. Everybody's like, NFL script, Taylor Swift, fucking Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce's
They just want to see it. Honestly, they want her holding the trophy for promo.
Yeah, yes. And listen, and I get it. The assignment, the referee assignment, we talked about it. They fucking hooked the Chiefs up with the best ref assignment that they could possibly have. So it's not like the NFL doesn't want to see Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl either. They definitely want it. But now you're going from playing a D3 defense, Division III college football defense, to a fucking Division I fucking solid goddamn fucking, this is the goddamn Georgia team from 2 years ago. This defense is stout. They're fucking gnarly. They're playing at home, and I don't give a fuck what Mahomes says. Buffalo's cursed. They got real fucking lucky in that fucking game. I think when you really look at it, Buffalo 9 times out of 10 probably wins that game last week, and the Chiefs are at home, and Taylor Swift's at home, and they're not fucking talking about anything like that, and they're not swag surfing and all that fucking bullshit. They're not doing stupid shit. Yeah, if I see Jason Kelce shirtless in Buffalo one more time, I'm going to fucking, fuck that motherfucker, by the way. Anyways, back to the point. Let's focus.
Okay.
The Chiefs got real lucky with the draw, and surprise, surprise, they got real lucky with the draw. They're going to see a Baltimore Ravens defense that is not shook. They're well coached. And on top of it, they absolutely annihilate the line of scrimmage. Okay. They're going to be in the backfield. The Chiefs aren't that fucking good. I stand by that, and I will fucking stand by that for the rest of this fucking year. They will lose this week as they should have last week, those cocksuckers. But this is a real good spot to be low on a team that everyone's high on. Okay. So take all that public money and fucking fade the public. Let's get on these unders here and let's watch the fucking Ravens beat the Chiefs by 47 points. I think that would make everybody happy. Would that not make you happy?
It would make me ecstatic, and I fucking super hope so that the Ravens guy went on TikTok fucking screaming for Lamar to please beat him. While we're talking about the refs, I got a TikTok about it. If you want to check it out.
TikTok me. Give me a talk.
It is this one.
Talk it up.
I think it's a female.
Do we have some tea to unpack in the AFC Championship? I'm not here to jump to conclusions, but that's absolutely what I'm going to do. NFL has named
thought
Sean
it was a female?
Smith
You didn't
the head
know?
ref of the Chiefs-Ravens game, and this is an interesting choice because
just watch it.
We must take a look at the numbers, okay? Home team win percentage with any other ref in the NFL hitting 56% of the time.
I have those same glasses.
Now, home team win percentage with Sean Smith as the ref hitting only 41% of the time. Those keeping track at home, that is the lowest home team win rate among NFL refs. Some of you may be thinking, maybe it's a coincidence of a lot of really bad home teams playing really good away teams. Yeah, that's not the case because not only are these away teams winning, they're covering 61% of the time, okay? That .39 is the cover rate of the home teams. Do I think the NFL has an agenda of getting this girl up here to the Super Bowl? I've seen crazier things. I'm just throwing this out there.
Super glad to get her perspective on it. Obviously, she's a very accomplished person.
Oh, yeah.
And not at all based off of her looks at all. Listen, here's the deal. You're going to hear a lot about scripts this week. You're going to hear a lot about this and this and that. I want you to know in your heart the Ravens are better than the Chiefs, and they should win. Barring any catastrophic situations where the Ravens team dies in a fiery plane crash, this should not be a fucking problem for the Ravens. This is a great defense. If Lamar doesn't fuck up and he plays mistake-free football, they should be fine. Running the ball is the way to get around these Chiefs. They're slow to the sides. Get Gus Edwards out on the side. You'll see that we have Gus Edwards over. There's a reason for that. James Cook looked like goddamn Dalvin Cook from fucking 3 years ago in his prime last week. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
He was slicing and fucking dicing. And James Cook is a very serviceable back. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's as good as Dalvin Cook was in his prime. I don't think he ever will be. He doesn't have that he's missing that superstar explosion. But Gus Edwards is fast. Lamar's fast. I might even, I don't know. You had Lamar on the dance card a little bit earlier. You had him over 64.5 or whatever rush yards or whatever the fuck that line was. Might have to revisit that. Might have to look at it. I'm buying these fucking Ravens all over the place right now.
Yeah, Ravens are going to come in, one, excited that they're in their first AFC and fucking conference matchup ever with this team, and then two, that the fact that they have a chance to knock out the Chiefs, I think is something that they're really going to be amped up about, which I'm excited for. And so we got some picks on the table. I wanted to lay up some so I don't want to burn through our topics with these picks. We're going to get to the rushing total after we watch another TikTok. I have a couple random TikToks up here about sports betting. I'm just going to lay one up and see what they have to say.
Okay.
No. That is the last time they played.
Two early picks for round 3 of the NFL playoffs. We got 2 great games this week. Let's make some money. Number 1 is going to be Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns. He only had to throw the ball 23 times last week, and he still hit this number. He hit this in last year's AFC Championship against the Bengals. He's going to ball out. Next is going to be Zay Flowers over 47.5 receiving yards. He's hit this in 2 out of the last 3 games, and the only game he didn't, he was 6 yards short. Kansas City's defense is going to have to sell out for the run to stop Gus Edwards and Lamar Jackson. Zay Flowers is going to be open short. He's going to get a lot of catches. Third is going to be Jared Goff over 1.5 passing TDs. He's hit this in 2 out of the last 3 as well. And the last time he played the Niners as a Detroit Lion, he threw for 3 touchdowns. They're going to have to air it out to stay in this game. But by far the best bets of the week are Lamar Jackson over 1 yard and CMC over 1 yard. You can get these on Underdog and Sleeper when you sign up with code FFRocket. If you lock this in...
Shut the fuck up. Honestly, so I brought that up because I like the passing touchdown totals. But I don't know. Who would you like more, Goff or Mahomes, for over 1.5 passing touchdowns?
To be frank, I don't like either one of those plays this week. Goff is playing not in Detroit. What he didn't tell you is that fucking game he's talking about, he was playing in Detroit. Goff is a great quarterback at home. He's not a great quarterback outside of his home. That's just how it is. Goff, that is the knock on Goff. Can he play in weather? Can he play if it's piss and rain? You saw how it affected Brock Purdy last week. I think Brock Purdy is a better quarterback than Jared Goff. If you can't fucking get your hand around the ball, it's going to be a rough fucking day, man. And not only are you here's the thing about Detroit. Tampa Bay has no rush whatsoever. I mean, they don't have a fucking significant pass rush for Jared. Jared Goff wasn't worried about it. But when you got Chase Young and you got fucking Bosa coming off the edge, buddy, you're going to have to get the fucking ball out quick. I don't think that they're going to be stalled. I do think the Lions have a better shot at winning than the Chiefs do. But I think that these two quarterbacks are stepping, like there are levels to the NFL, and these two are the top of the fucking league when it comes to defense. And I always side with defense in playoffs. I think if you have a quarterback that can take care of the ball, the defense is going to win. They're going to win. The better defense is going to win. The Chiefs played better defensively last week than Buffalo did. They won the fucking game. I would argue the same thing about all the other teams that won this playoffs. The defense showed out. They had a good defensive game, and the offense took care of the ball. And that's it. So now these teams are coming from playing – the Bucs really not that fucking good. I'm just going to say it. They're not a great team. Baker Mayfield has a lot of limitations. But – and the Chiefs are playing, like I said, a fucking D3 defense in Buffalo, and they still barely got 27 points up. I really think that I know everybody's riding the dicks of these teams, but this is fucking real football, okay? And these are two smash mouth fucking defenses who don't take shit from anybody. I think we're going to have a reckoning here. And I also love the fact that all these douchebags are on the other side, because that means I know in my heart that I'm always right, as always. That's just how it works.
Yeah, and if you guys in the chat got any questions, throw in some questions while we're still here. We're going to swivel here talking about QBs into talking about we got Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, and Patrick Mahomes under their rushing total. And we've been riding quarterback unders all year. Jared Goff, for the first time in fucking this century, managed to get 6 yards last week. I don't know how the fuck he did it. But his line, we abused that line so much that the line was 0.5. It was over half a yard, and we took it anyway. It didn't hit. But other than that, we've been spanking on this Jared Goff line. And so the line now is 1.5 rushing yards against San Fran and all the fucking defensive power that they have. I'm really thinking that they're going to be able to keep him from ever getting a yard or even 1.5. So I'm really liking that one. And then I took this similar type line with Jordan Love at 8.5. And after looking at Brock's last 5 games, I forget exactly what it was, but we're liking the under for Brock Purdy as well. And then you brought up the Mahomes under, and Mahomes can actually move. And then versus the Dolphins, like every time he left the pocket, I almost had a stroke. Like he's just getting on his horse and moving. And I'm like, fuck. But talk about this Baltimore defense in comparison to the Patrick Mahomes under for 26.5.
This, again, like I said, Baltimore, big fucking defense, really stout at the line. He's going to have a tough time. They have great linebackers. These linebackers are fucking top of the line linebackers. You got Roquan Smith back there. They have playmakers all over the ball. There's going to be very few instances where Patrick Mahomes, because he's not Josh Allen. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's athletic. He's a great quarterback. I fucking hate him because that's just how I am. But he is a very good, serviceable fucking running quarterback. He does not possess the explosiveness it takes to get around this defense. I just think, hey, 26.5 yards, that's way too fucking much. He's going to have to throw this fucking ball. If Lamar gets out and he scores fucking 14 points with the first 2 drives, they're going to have a fucking real tough time letting Patrick Mahomes fucking run the fucking ball. I'm just going to be honest with you. He's going to be looking to throw the ball.
No, I agree. And the one thing I want to talk about as we get into our next pick, I'm going to share a display for, if I can just get off Yahoo and be on fucking Google, that would be fantastic. But I didn't even run this by you. I have George Kittle for a touchdown over 0.5. And, the reason why I'm really big on this pick is because in fantasy all year, if you had George Kittle without Deebo Samuel, he plays and steps up when there's that huge gap. He's a big, burly guy. And I'm going to pull up the stats right here. This is a great site. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Have you heard of StatMuse?
Yeah.
Okay. This is games that I'm going to display on the screen share without Deebo Samuel when George Kittle plays. So let me see if I got the display up correctly right there. Okay, cool. So if you can see these stats, this is his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say 15 games without George Kittle, and then I'm going to exclude 2019 through 2020. So 2021, 7 receptions, 68 yards. 2021, 9 receptions, 181 yards. 39 yards, 93 yards, 120, 23, 78, and then 149. Those are his last 8 games without Deebo Samuel. Wow. He's averaging close to or a little bit more than 10 yards per game or 10 yards per fucking whatever the fuck per reception. And he has since 2021, he has 7 touchdowns out of the 8. He has 8 touchdowns out of the last 7. Basically averaging a touchdown a game. This is something that fantasy managers exploited without Deebo because he was averaging at least over double digits, at least 10 to 15 fantasy points for every game without Deebo. So I really, really like this pick, and I wanted to hear if you co-sign it at all or not.
Yeah, I love that pick now. I love StatMuse. Great fucking site. I would be interested to see his receiving yard line as well.
His receiving yard line, I will pull up on the prize picks. And I just really love his game. One of those big burly type tight ends. We talked about tight ends last week. I posted a TikTok about it. George Kittle is dynamic, and if you see him break away, I'm surprised by his frame and how fast he is, because he can really move when he gets on his horse. And what a fucking option! Man. Yeah, no, absolutely. And what an option for Brock Purdy to be able to have to dump it off to. And that's the thing about the Niners. Everyone's been riding them all year, and it's the best team in football. The way that they have all these fucking options. Let me see Kittle right here. I'm gonna display it. Share this tab. Boom, make sure that's shared, and then let's go here. Cool. George Kittle. George Kittle is sitting at 60.5 receiving yards. And
I like that. I think that's
I wish I looked at this earlier. Yeah, he had 81 versus Green Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good line. They're going to have to lean on George Kittle.
I like it more now with that StatMuse shit because even if he's not scoring, he's getting yards.
I like his fantasy score too.
200 yards without him. Yeah, his fantasy score.
I like his fantasy score too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lock these in real quick.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's get those up there. Probably like those a little bit more than I like the touchdown line. Still like it. I just don't like it as much as those two. So.
As we go through, one thing that we tried to hit on this season that is super hard or hit or miss. Do you think either 4 of these quarterbacks would throw an interception? Mahomes, Purdy.
Yeah, I think actually, surprisingly enough, that all of them have the capability of throwing an interception. Actually, I'd be really keen to look at PFF has some really good information on turnover worthy plays that quarterbacks have per game.
Does PFF have a site? What's there? How do I get to PFF?
Yeah, they have a site, but you got to be a member for it, so you got to sign in and shit. But I'll get the information and pass it along, and if we got anything else, obviously we'll update the dance card here. But I'd be curious to see, because I think in the right situation, which is this game for all these quarterbacks, I think they could all throw a fucking interception. I don't think. I think all these defenses are super opportunistic, and they can definitely throw a fucking pick if anything. I don't love.
I'm gonna play a game with you.
Okay, play.
So I'm gonna ask you a number 1 through 10. You pick a number, and that's gonna randomize a category for me, and then I'm gonna pick a line. Okay, and I want you to tell me just off the cuff, over or under. So give me a number 1 out of 10.
6.
I'm going to go receptions. What do you think of Travis Kelce at 6 receptions? Over or under?
Over.
Give me another number.
3.
All right, that's rushing yards. Did we talk about Gus Edwards? All right, let's talk about Montgomery. Yeah. Let's talk about Montgomery. Over or under?
Off the top, probably over.
So I'm going to use these as talking points. With Montgomery, we saw him have the lion's share, no pun intended, of the first game against the Rams? Yeah, against the Rams. Yeah. And then against Tampa Bay, they swapped to Gibbs, and Gibbs had a game. So now you're like 1-1 out of like a best of 3 series. Who are they leaning on? And I'm starting to think more Montgomery because I think Gibbs is probably the better matchup for a team like Tampa Bay. But like the defense of San Fran is so big and so strong with Chase Young and Bosa and all those players. I think it's a David Montgomery kind of script. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I think the interior of that line is definitely weaker than the exterior of that line. So Montgomery runs between the tackles. I think you probably would have him trotting out there a little bit more than Gibbs this week. He provides a little bit more of a punch too. So that's why I would take him over. But I'm going to tell you something right now. I am not rostering any other. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing any sort of Lions running backs anymore because I've been burned. Every time I take Gibbs, Montgomery has a game. Every time I fucking take Montgomery, Gibbs has a fucking game. And it's just it's too inconsistent.
So I have a question for you. So early on when I started getting into hockey shots and how I was hitting and basically my theories on hockey shots, you said I created something. It was an edge, right?
Yeah.
So do you think that finding an edge is basically finding an advantage that not a lot of people know about and using it as a betting strategy?
Yeah.
So let's use this as an example for like an edge teaching moment. So we got David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Do you think you can kind of look at game script and prior games and based on the matchup kind of find an edge to lean on for each one of those said running backs? Like, because of this theory that I have based on how they use them in matchups, how they use them on third down, and how they use all these different strategies, you can create an edge for either playing one of Jahmyr Gibbs or David Montgomery in a certain game. And would you even call that an edge?
There are two schools of thought about this. Actually, there's this thing called SDQL. It's like a database that has like all of the information about sports, and you can type in like it's all theorem based. So you got to like actually put like equations in it, but it'll turn out like a lot of people use it for like Major League Baseball. It'll be like you can put in like when is the last time? What's the Yankees record? In like light rain on a Tuesday after coming off of like a 6-run win the night before. Like
that sounds like some fucking.
It's wild. But what my main point for mentioning that is you can find an edge anywhere. It's just if that edge is fucking an actual edge. Is it an edge you can win off of? Now with that SDQL shit, most of the shit is garbage. Like most of the shit is like what I just told you. There are things on there that there's a thing there are edges on there that like hit constantly, that hit at a rate that's ridiculous. We're talking 92%, but they only have like one play a season or like one play every 2 years. You know what I mean? But so the main point with that is like you can find an edge, but is it worth it? Is there an actual edge you can win off of there? With your hockey shots, you identified like probably 5 to 6 different factors, basically created your own model on paper and kind of back tested it by learning, through stats. That is that's a fact. That's a scientific fact. Like that edge you has hit probably around 70% of the time, if not a little bit higher. So you have an edge right now. I don't know how long that edge is going to last. Eventually the sports books always catch up, which is why you always have to constantly innovate in this field and why it kind of keeps the juices flowing because you don't know what you're going to see from day to day. It just in the last 6 months, this fucking prop shit has exploded.
Yeah.
And that's why we're finding so many edges. Eventually, they will fucking hammer these lines down so much that there is barely an edge here. So we have to get the getting's good, baby. And then we have to move on to the next thing.
So I got two things. One, I have some breaking news before I get into it. I'm just going to touch on basically the conclusion to my edges is right-handed shooters. I'm not going to explain to you like all the different factors and all the different shit because there's a lot into it. But and then you look at this popular tab. I'm going to tell you right now: left-handed shooter, left-handed shooter, left-handed shooter, left-handed shooter. What else for shots? Nikas is a left-handed shooter. Kopitar's a left-handed shooter. Reinhardt's a left-handed shooter. Cooley's a left-handed shooter. Even though these aren't all for shots, Aho's a left-handed shooter. So it's something that is not, I feel, spoken of. And this is the popular tab. And at least for shots, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 6 on the popular tab are all left-handed shooters. Fucking good portion of the league's left-handed. So that's a good edge to ride. But Dan, double down. I got some breaking news for you that just so happened to pop up on my phone. Let me change the background for this.
Oh man, serious.
Breaking news out of the NFL. Coach of Michigan, Jim Harbaugh, is leaving to accept the head coaching job with the Chargers. What do you think of that fit?
All right, great fit. One, because he's a winner. He's successful anywhere he goes. He was successful in San Francisco when he was there the last time with Kaepernick. He's successful at Michigan. I mean, he brought them a title. You can only say, I mean, honestly, even if you think he cheated or not this year with the fucking hand signals, he's a great fucking coach. He was looking to get out of college. And I'm almost positive the Chargers probably gave him the keys to the kingdom to get him to go there. I would assume he's got carte blanche, GM fucking choice and all that shit. I don't think that there's a hotter coach right now to give your team to. I would like to. The Chargers are a cursed franchise, anyways. They're just like the Bills. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but hey, you got a quarterback with all the fucking potential in the world. Herbert is a great fucking quarterback. You got Bosa, you got Khalil Mack there. I think that probably takes them out of fucking the basement dwellers at least. And I think just off of coaching, Brandon Staley was a fucking dumpster fire. Like if you want to fucking think about how bad they've been, like coaching selection wise, they've been fucking horrible. Harbaugh is like a fucking leaps and bounds 100 times better than those guys. And he crosses the T's and dots the I's, man. He is X's and O's fucking, he is strong in the basics and fundamentals. And I think that's going to really pay dividends for them.
Do you think that jump starts Austin Eckler?
I think that probably gets him to want to stay. I don't know if they re-up that deal though. I think he's a free agent after this season.
Is he? Okay. So that's going to be cool to get into.
I think it's huge for Herbert. It is fucking enormous for Herbert. It is because Jim Harbaugh is going to attract the best offensive talent, the best offensive minds. And again, Herbert has had nothing but shit shows in that position. And I think he's got all the talent in the world, man. I don't know if he could ever put it together. I didn't really see it when he was at Oregon. I always thought he was kind of susceptible to like a strong blitz. And if you're an NFL quarterback that can handle the blitz, you are not going to be in the league that long or be successful in the league if you are in the league. So he's got a lot to work on, but I think with that coach and the coaches that he's going to attract to that job, they're set up, man. I really hope it works out for them. They need to find a new home, but I really hope it works out for them.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that Austin Eckler can kind of like turn it around and do something. While we were talking about the Ravens-Chiefs matchup, I do have a TikTok clip from the last time they played that I wanted to run by and see what you think.
Okay.
I saved that. I'm watching
that fucking guy's a dog, dude. I love fucking. Is that John Harbaugh or Jim? Is that Jim or John?
I'll tell you who
John?
wasn't.
It's John.
Michigan.
It's John.
Yeah, it was John.
Okay. I love like that to look at your quarterback and be like, hey, you ready? Like you ready for this? Yeah. And he says yes, and you fucking give him all like that shit right there. That's what fucking makes a good head coach. Like a fucking coach that'll give the guy the fucking ball. And I'm gonna go back to Buffalo real quick because I'm still fucking furious. To trot out DeMar Hamlin to run a fucking fake punt on your own 30 when you have Josh motherfucking Allen on the sidelines is the dumbest, is like the height of stupidity. Okay? You got one shot, and you march out the guy who died last year. Like, you can't fucking do it, man. You can't do it. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. No, you can't fucking do it. Sean McDermott's a fucking dumbass. With Josh Allen, you could throw for it, you could run for it, he could do a flip over somebody and get the first down. John, that's what I'm talking about. He's a fucking dog, dude. I love that guy.
What up, Caroline? The one thing that I will say about that game is that I forgot to bring up last time is that Stephon Diggs dropped a 90-yard pass and it was in his hands. Totally forgot about that.
Right in the breadbasket, baby. Josh could. Hey, listen. I was down on Josh this year. I was ready to trade him for whoever the fuck anybody offered me. But he couldn't have played a better game. And I fucking heard an ungodly stat. In the 3 losses in the playoffs to the Chiefs, Josh Allen has thrown for 22 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Wow.
Like, the boys let him down, and he did. Like, you know what? All this shit about he's not a big game quarterback, suck a dick, dude. He's a fucking big game quarterback. The team's not a big game team, and I mean that from the bottom of my goddamn ball sack, dude. They let him down. He should have fucking won that game. I don't even know what we're on right now. I don't even know what we're supposed to be talking about. I'm still wrapped up in the loss,
That's
obviously.
A great double down
but
take.
Fucking, dude, listen, Lamar's going to come out and ball the fuck out. I love the coach. If there's a spot for the Chiefs to get the shit kicked out of them like they deserve, this is the fucking spot, buddy.
I love the energy and I love the
I went on a rampage.
I love the passion from an actual sports fan. One thing I will add on to this though is that on Degen Fantasy, we've been giving out some fucking heaters. If I could just display some of these said heaters, let me remove that. We've been doing very well. Our parlays of the day hit at a great rate. Let me draw this place so you can see us. Our parlays of the day hit at a great rate. This is what we did last week. Hit at a great rate, 11-3. Not last week, the week before. And then this was last week. We actually had to correct. Yeah, we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 2 last week. And I'm curious to, I wouldn't call it competition. I would just say like other content creators out there. And I look into on TikTok sometimes who else is out there. And you know who has a decent following? And I watch some of his videos and they don't hit at all. He has went for the last 7 videos I've watched. He's went 2 and 12, and this is who they're following. Let's take a look.
Parleezy Poppy with the winning parlay lock for the day. I told y'all, man. Hey,
this is the only winner he had.
I appreciate it, but I did the math. I wasn't worried. Look at the points for, points against. Do your
minus 210.
Hey, 21.8 per game this season. 31 plus with Mahomes in the playoffs. Easy lock.
Fuck out of here. What a trash.
Lock it in, baby. See ya.
Dude, so just looking at that.
Just fucking let me come off the top rope here. If you're following a fucking retard like that, dude, like I can't fucking listen. Guys, I'm sorry I dropped an R-bomb on you. I apologize.
Oh, jeez.
Listen, if you're following a guy named Parleezy Poppy, you need to check into a fucking gambling rehab right the fuck now. If you're betting minus 210 lines, you're a fucking square. You need to know it. You need to feel it. You are a public bettor. You are not good at it. Stop doing that. That's fucking ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, and it's people that like in the NFT space too that I talk about because I have an NFT company that don't document themselves, call it doxing, and show their faces. Like we're out here showing our faces. I'm literally leaving this session to go to the ER and I just coughed and my hip hurt because I have a fucking giant bruise that's swelling on my fucking side from hockey.
Vagina.
And I'm still here giving out picks. I was advised. Anyway, yeah, people really blindly just go, oh, the TikTok man, and he's so funny. money, I shall take all my hard-earned money and just put it on Lamar Jackson for over 200 rush yards.
That was a good accent. I didn't know you could do accents too.
Man, I can do many. Get me in a film with a fucking accent. I come in, I say, hey, listen, you don't fucking take double down picks. You're offending me and my mother and her Bonnie Asos. No,
that's Rocky Marciano right there. I like that one.
Rocky fucking Marciano, okay?
There you go.
Anyway,
baby.
no, but then write me a roller. I can do a voice. Anyway, no, it's true. Yeah, I'll spaz out. But listen, so what we're gonna do on Instagram, if you guys are following us, if you would like to, and you're not already, you're more than welcome to, is at Degen Fantasy Premium on Instagram. And what we do there is basically, instead of following people on TikTok's dumb picks, that one, they will give you the wrong picks for fucking reactions and likes, so people will go, that's not gonna hit, are you stupid, for the algo. And then two, because whatever the fucking case may be, we're giving out an exclusive setup for our exclusive parlays of the day. That's why I say the word exclusive, because we were doing these early for free every week. Exclusive. And we are 6-1, right? On parlays of the day. We are 6-1 on parlays of the day, and I have a whole recap video of all our hits. Mm-hmm. So the only place where you can get these now is Instagram, and all you have to do to follow us is it's a private Instagram. If you follow us, you will be responded to with a DM from me saying, hey, thanks for following. If you would like to have access to the Instagram, we have Venmo and Cash App. You can hit us with $10 a week, or you can just do 1 week and see how you like it for $10, or do $30 a month and you can save $10 and just see how you go. Both of our accounts, look at me. Both of our betting accounts look fucking phenomenal. Okay. I have friends that would benefit from joining with us, because we say, we have a group chat. We're like, hey guys, tail these picks. And they're like, okay. And they don't. And then we're in the group chat the whole night. Like, it hits. Celebrating. This hits. Let's go. And they come in and they go, I'm 0-15 the last week and a half. And like, listen, good friends of mine, I'm not going to have them pay for the Instagram, and majority of them don't even follow it. But if they did, they would be up way more. I see it firsthand every single fucking night that they can use some of our tips. And at the same time, I would really enjoy it, because it sucks. It's like eating in front of an Ethiopian child. Like just a big ass fucking steak or a burger.
You just got a fucking ribeye, baby. You're just going to town on that thing.
And they're
just staring at them while you cut it.
Yeah, so and they're celebrating these hits, and they're like, "I took the Buccaneers to win."
Yeah, well, honestly, there's nothing we can do. You can lead a horse to water, but if that horse is a fucking moron, is he gonna drink it? Is he gonna take the tip? I know people have benefited from these picks, but the only one I'm really worried about, myself. I'm going to be real honest with you. I love to fucking win. And if you don't want to join the winning, that's fine. Keep losing on your own. That's great. But if you want to come over to the good side here, if you want to come over to the people that don't have negatives in their bank account, don't have negatives in their fucking betting account, then come hang out with us. Let's make some fucking money together. Hey, listen, I would love to make you fucking rich beyond your wildest dreams. I would love that. Nothing would make me happier. But if you don't fucking come follow us, if you don't fucking come listen to us, then you're on your own, buddy. Good luck.
Yeah, like, do you know what's in front of Dan's, in front of his computer, which is off screen? But in front of that wall he has is a fountain and a gold bed and fucking drapes made of silk. And just beautiful, beautiful things. And
a marble statue of myself in the center of my room.
Damn, listen, that statue, like, I can't look at it without getting okay. But what I will tell you guys also, we are offering one-on-one consultations, and it's not to make money. If you would like to get in on that, the first one's free. You can sit with Dan and I. We'll just talk about the basics of sports betting and how to get you started. And if you enjoy it and you would like to learn how to be at a high percentage like we are, then we could talk further. But for an example of this entire show, everything's documented. If you watch the process of me being a fantasy football guy and a hockey guy and all this shit, and doing the show with Dan, he has taught me not just, hey, I like these players to make my bag grow. He taught me how to manage my bankroll into a profitable day, week, month, and I'm going for a year. I am in the positive, and I am not looking back. Dan, are you looking back?
I'm not looking back.
No, listen. We're not.
I haven't looked back in like 6 years, dude. I don't even look behind me when I'm backing up.
I went from this is a real ass story, okay, with sports betting, okay? I started probably 2 months ago?
Yeah.
I went from being in my house doing these streams freezing cold to hitting a few parlays, hitting a couple straight leg bets, being in the positive, and hey, I bought a space heater.
He's got heat from space, you pieces of shit.
I got
from
heat from
space.
And understand
God
that
damn.
it's toasty in here right now.
Look at him.
Then on top of that, I live with myself and my brother, and we have a nice house. We have a nice podcast studio, all this nice shit. UI bill's pretty expensive. You know what's paying my $1,000 UI bill? Sports betting. And that's not something I'm depending on. That is called a luxury.
Yep.
That is a luxury problem. What I'm doing here is being able to take something that I'm creating content with and also being like, hey, look it, the lights are still on. And I can still stream because I was able to pay my bills.
Hey, let me piggyback off that real quick. Hey, you ever go to watch a game and your girl's like, what are you doing? You're watching another game. You're doing this. You're doing that. Hey, if you could show her you're making a little money off of it, maybe she eases up a little bit. Hey, babe, I'm watching the game right now. Oh, you making a little money? Yeah, I'm making a little fucking money. That's how I do things.
And I feel like a lot of women will look at it as like degenerate. And we call the show Degen Fantasy kind of as a joke because at the end of the day, we're not going bankrupt. We say put the house on it as a joke. No one's putting the house on it. If you can manage a bankroll and just be able to be positive every week and enjoy it while you're doing it and have a nice little sweat, get a little cardio in. If you missed the gym this week, you got a little fucking sweat from the pits gone. It's enjoyable, and also it can help out your finances. And hey, Valentine's Day is coming up. She won't be bitching when you buy her a nice little something. Like, hey, babe, the Heat and the Knicks and the Bucks and the Pistons and the Pacers all won, and I had them all straight, and I had them all in LA. What do you like?
What do you want? Baby, where do you want to go? Fucking point on a map. Let's go, baby. Let's go wherever you want. Listen, this could be very profitable. Also, if you love sports, this is a great fucking excuse to watch fucking sports. Okay? So just fucking get in the goddamn game and do yourself a favor, diversify.
Yeah, okay? And God.
When we started, we were all Rocky's taking parlays and shit like that. He's using fucking prop books and all this bullshit. And then I got him on a sports book. And what can you do on a sports book? You can take one play straight up. You don't have to fucking parlay with a bunch of stupid shit. Yep. Okay? So get yourself a sports book. Get in the fucking game. Don't be a fucking slave to just one place and one line. Fucking shop around. Get a couple books. Throw me a little referral credit, and I might like you after that. You never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to get to the point where our following, just even on like a Discord or on this channel, is going to be good enough to be able to have a community that's also in the green together. And also, like, we're not shying away from people and being like, well, our bets didn't hit. We post all our losses. We post all our hits. And the one thing I will say that I learned, and then we're going to wrap up here soon because I got to go to the ER. The one thing I learned being around a lot of fucking idiots for a majority of my life growing up was that phrase of like, it's you are who you hang out with, and changing and growing and starting a profitable company and starting to be able to be in the presence of like multi-millionaires. And I'm not even kidding. They've been sitting here in my living room right now in the middle of a fucking shithole town, but there's a nice podcast studio. Being able to sit with them and learn the number one thing, that saving money will never make you wealthy. Saving money will never make you wealthy. I'm not saying take your savings and gamble it, but what I will say is not only just sports betting, whether it's cryptocurrency or the stock market, whatever the case may be, or even if it's in a fucking like a house. If you do not employ your money and have it work for you, then you're going to be broke your entire life, because that's all they want you to do. They want you to say, hey, if I save a penny here and a penny here and a penny here, I'll be able to be this and that. And you won't. You need to employ your money, and this is the funnest way to do it. It's maybe the most riskiest way to do it, but if you'd like to do it with us and enjoy it, you're going to be in the positive more than you're in the negative, and be able to have a couple extra bucks to maybe pay off the rest of your UI bill, like I am. So
yeah, and there's a very common a phrase that we like to say in the degenerate world: "Scared money don't make money, man. You can't be afraid.
Don't make no money. It's true.
You can't be afraid. You got to fucking get out there." And he's right. Saving fucking a penny here and there ain't gonna do shit at the end of the day, man. We're looking to live decent lives.
I tried. You know what I did? I had a fucking shoe box in my room that I covered up with tape, and then I cut a giant hole in the top, and it was just big enough to fit money, and you couldn't even fit your fucking fingers in. And I was like, hey, I'm going to take a little bit of my paycheck every week, throw money in there. I'm going to take every time I got singles and change, I throw it in there. I did it for about 3 months. There was probably about like $3,000 worth of cash in that box. I went out of town with my pops, go see a Penguins game in Colorado. I come back. It was gone. It was robbed. If I had employed that, no, real shit, and that's a true story. And I was so fucking pissed. One of my buddies that I lived with, who's no longer a buddy of mine, I'm going to talk shit on a podcast because fuck him. He had this gargantuan girlfriend, and they were moving back to Florida while I was out of town. And while I was out of town, he went in my room, and his gargantuan girlfriend and him took their fingers like this and fished out every single dollar bill from this box. I had it hidden in my room, so he went through my shit. And it sucked, but it also taught me that, like, one, not only is saving not smart, you can keep it in a bank. Banks are also like, it's tough because it's like, oh, wow, it's in my savings, but one click into my checking. Oh, take a little bit of here, take a little bit of here, take a little bit of here. It doesn't really matter much on top of the fact that if your fucking bank goes bankrupt, they take all your money. Second off, hey, let me squirtle it in my house and there's a house fire, or it's in my bed, or whatever the case may be. So not only, I think it's more of a liability not to employ your money. I'm not saying put it just into sports betting, you can put it into assets, but also being able to take a couple extra bucks every week, and instead of buying it on a fucking pack of cigarettes, you can turn $10 into 30, and then you're like, oh, look, I have some money to play with. And then you use your betting money, you build up a fund. I have not spent any of my currency that I have earned through any of my businesses or my jobs on sports betting. I started with probably $150 of just money that I had squirreled away, basic little assets. And I was able to move it into, now I'm looking at close to $1,000 in my account. And I'm just slowly like, okay, I made this much this week, this much today, this much today. I got, let's just say I have 875 in my account. I'm like, okay, I can roll with for tonight the 50 to 75 range being $25. Let's play $25 worth of money tonight and see what we can do. And it's just been growing, and doing straight bets and learning from Dan and doing this channel has done a lot for me. So in conclusion for tonight, we're going to recap our picks really quick. The main ones we want you to look at are Mahomes, Goff, and Purdy under the rushing. McCaffrey, the free 0.5 line. If you're on Prize Picks, go ram that. Gus Edwards, we like over 39.5. McCaffrey, I like over 89.5. And then other than that, you can take these picks that you like on Instagram. We will be posting our parlay of the day, which we are 6-1 on. That is $50 to win $500. That's what I'm talking about. You want to get in, play the game, you throw $50 on it if you'd like. Even if you do a smaller leg or you do $20, you can do $10. 10 to win 100. Do whatever you'd like, and you can get a little parlay of the day, fucking W under your belt, and get your bankroll rolling so you can really stream and join with us. And then the last week we had, we went 6-2. And this week, if you'd like to play to win, we have what probably everyone has, which isn't a great betting odds, which is San Fran and Baltimore to meet each other in the Super Bowl. If you're feeling frisky and you really like it, you can take KC and see how that money changes your bankroll. But other than that, Dan, you got anything final to say before we come back for our Saturday stream?
Load up, guys. Get in on these lines early. Let's have a fucking week.
Yeah, lines will be moving. We're on, what is it today, Wednesday?
Yep.
Today's Wednesday. Every day you wait, moves a little bit, moves a little bit, moves a little bit. And you may think, hey, it doesn't matter. And there's probably some that if they move, you might still be able to hit it. But I've seen it this past 3 months where I got a line at, I don't know, 2 under, and the line moved up 2 points, and my buddies tailed, and they're like, fuck, I missed by 0.5. Ruined my entire parlay. Not mine, theirs. So make sure you get on these lines.
Get in early.
This is your boy Rocky Prop, Rookie Bets, Ricky Bobby, Reverse Kermit. All these fucking nice little names I have. I'm looking for more. If you got any suggestions, drop them in the comments of this video. And your boy, should I let you? I always introduce you. You always kind of sit there. Would you like to sign out here?
Yeah, Double Down Dan signing off, guys.
Till next time, make sure you guys check us out on TikTok, on Instagram at Degen Fantasy Premium, and anywhere else you can find us at Degen.